really get it popping now. People everywhere and all our Twitter followers, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Happy Hanukkah.
I played my drum for him, ba-ra-ba-bum-bum. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I played my bad for him, ba-ra-ba-bum-bum. Ba-ba-bum-bum, ba-ba-bum-bum. Yeah, yeah. I'm a drummer boy, so go.
A festive move here in Los Angeles. Kobe Bryant at age 34 leading the NBA in scoring. His team still a game under 500. One of those losses this year came to Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks earlier this season at Madison Square Garden. Anthony #2 in the NBA, right behind Bryant as they get set to square off for the second time this season. And good afternoon and Merry Christmas, everyone. Along with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand, Heather Cox with us as well. We've got a terrific way to start the season on ABC. First this one, and then Miami and Oklahoma City, a rematch of last year's finals. Let's start with the Lakers. Armageddon has kind of subsided a little bit as the Lakers have won a season-high 4 in a row. Steve Nash is back. This is his second game. Obviously, he's a wonderful player. But who do you think he's going to benefit the most, his appearance on the court for this team?
Well, I think his deft passing and his incredible shot making benefit everyone. But I think he'll help them with the dynamic between inside and outside play. The combination of Howard and Bryant, who to go to at specific times. They need to get better balance. I think Steve Nash will help them do that.
Carmelo Anthony has helped the Knicks do pretty much everything this year. In the first meeting between the two, he had 30 points in 23 minutes before he got hurt. But that's been the norm for him. He really has been outstanding.
He's never been better than he's been this year with the New York Knicks. Playing him at the 4 spot was a stroke of genius by Mike Woodson. He's surrounded by 3 3-point shooters and a great finishing center in Tyson Chandler. They are a tough out come playoff time.
And Anthony just putting up some tremendous numbers across the board as we look at our starting lineups brought to you Taco Bell. Some changes in the lineups for both teams with various injuries happening. First for the Knicks, this is more because of size against the opponent. Kurt Thomas starting at the power forward, shifting Carmelo Anthony to the small forward with Kidd and Felton and Tyson Chandler in the middle for Mike Woodson. And for Mike D'Antoni, Nash at the point guard, Darius Morris always starting in the backcourt as well, with Kobe Bryant moving now to the small forward, Gasol and Howard up front. For our Spanish language version of today's game, presented by ESPN Deportes, use the SAP function on your television. Knicks at 20-7, second best record in the East. The Lakers at 13 and 14, currently 11th in the West, but they have won a season-high 4 in a row.
And put on your sunglasses for these Knick uniforms. Carmelo Anthony must feel he's back at Syracuse with these.
You know, they look exactly, it's almost the same color orange. Rather bright. Some of the matchups. And again, Gasol being guarded by Chandler. Kurt Thomas is on Dwight Howard, and having those two guys on the floor, Jeff, has altered Mike Woodson's thinking about how to match up with them to start.
It is. He didn't want Carmelo Anthony being guarded or guarding Pau Gasol early due to foul trouble, and now Darius Morris guarding Carmelo Anthony. That's a size and strength mismatch.
And Anthony knocks down the first shot. Not only is he scoring, but he's doing it at a very efficient rate, 47%. Nash the runner in the lane. Now he played 41 minutes in his first game back after the stress fracture in his leg in an overtime victory, and I'm sure he'll say he wasn't in rhythm before. He's certainly looking.
Did you see that shot? He picked it up off the dribble with one hand and shot it with the same hand.
Raymond Felton hits the jumper. Felton, who has been a big boost for this team, Mike Woodson says one of the keys for their start, although struggling shooting. Sure, he's happy to see the perimeter jumper go down. Nash kicks it out. Gasol. Bryant left wide open for 3.
But you see the difference when you have two big guys on the floor like Pau Gasol and Howard. That 3-point shot was created for Gasol, but eventually they're going to need a stretch 4-man who can shoot that and wants to shoot that.
Chandler, a rare shot outside the paint, comes up short. Well, Mike D'Antoni said Metta World Peace is best suited at the 4 as Nash aggressive looking for his shot early and gets both buckets for the Lakers.
And he has to be. The way they're playing the pick and roll, they're dropping way back off of the screener to try to prevent Nash hitting the roll man or opening up the 3-point shot.
Morris steps up, fires away. That three-pointer won't go. Gasol trying to get in there. Poked it away, but Kidd comes out with it. Well, you've got a lot of old geezers out on the floor. You've got 4 of the 6 oldest players in the NBA in this game as Anthony hits the shot and the foul. And a chance for a three-point play.
Well, this was no Christmas present for Darius Morris, having to get matched up with the bigger, stronger Carmelo Anthony. Going for the steal, gives Anthony the clean, clear look at the basket and the three-point play opportunity.
And 2 minutes and 13 seconds into the game, Mike D'Antoni bringing in his first sub. It's going to be Metta World Peace, so he didn't get to the scorers table in time. Anthony, by the way, leads the NBA in first quarter points. He averages 10 points per first quarter. Part of the reason they get off to such great starts. Gasol, nice pass to Bryant.
And I love that action where they give the ball to Gasol at the elbow and let Steve Nash go and pick somebody to screen for. Nash, like John Stockton, is a great screener there. He got Kobe Bryant a wide open layup and took advantage of Gasol's great passing ability.
So Thomas lines it up and nails it. Thomas has started a bunch of games. This is his 8th start of the season. Carmelo Anthony had missed 4 games because of injury, and again because of size matchups. He's the oldest player in the NBA, and still doing a terrific job for Mike Woodson. Nash finds Gasol wide open. Are you speechless?
That left-hand hook pass across his body on the money to Pau Gasol.
Belton's shot won't go. Again, I guess because he missed 24 games, we just forgot how graceful he is on the floor and how smart. All batted away. Good defensive play from Kurt Thomas. Well, another pretty good point guard in his day, Jason Kidd, now playing the 2 guard for the Knicks. And a lot of people think he's been the biggest difference in terms of the focus he's brought to this team. Howard looking to help. Thomas the baseline, and Kurt Thomas 2 for 2.
40 years old and still knows how to play. Defensively, smart and sound. Offensively, can still make a 15 to 17 footer.
Gasol for 3. That's good. Pau Gasol from downtown. He was only 2 for 8 from that distance this season. Nailed that one, and the game is tied. He's showing Mike D'Antoni he's got some range. He's talking about wanting the ball in the post so much that obviously he's a great player down there. But he can shoot, maybe not a 3, but he can shoot.
Well, you have to have somebody around Steve Nash that can shoot the ball from a big man position. And the 3 puts more pressure on Tyson Chandler to close to. So this isn't going to be an ongoing struggle to find exactly what's best. But Steve Nash is such a good shot creator that you have to have guys ready and willing to shoot the ball.
Chandler able to save the errant pass. Anthony has to put it up, does not get it off in time. And a 24-second violation as we say hello for the first time to Heather Cox. Hello, Heather.
Well, Merry Christmas, Mike. It's interesting that Pau Gasol is up to such a great start. Mike D'Antoni actually initiated a dinner meeting with Pau on Wednesday night to hammer out some of the differences. Gasol said that he told D'Antoni he wanted the ball in the post instead of on the perimeter, and also asked to play more in crunch time. Gasol said it was a meeting to make sure that the two are on the same page, and Mike D'Antoni said it was really a feeling out process, finding out what makes Pau comfortable, saying he's a very intelligent basketball player. Why wouldn't I want to get his opinion about a lot of things?
You know, Heather, that's what D'Antoni said this morning. First thing he said, he goes, the guy's really smart, and certainly one of the best players in the world who just has struggled with this particular system. But D'Antoni was saying, Jeff, that it's not just Pau Gasol. The whole team has to change their mindset a bit. What he likes to run and what the triangle was, and that's been ingrained in him, is vastly different.
It is, and when you put Howard, who doesn't shoot the ball with range, and Gasol, there's not as much room on the floor because Bryant and World Metta Peace want to be in the post some too. So there has to be some give by every player. There's going to be some level of sacrifice. Even Bryant's going to have to sacrifice because with Nash at the helm, the ball is going to be in his hands a lot, whereas Bryant dominated the ball earlier in the season when Nash was out.
And it's all a matter of waiting for Nash to come back and see how they fit. Things just seem to fit better when he's out on the floor. You've called him the great unifier, and there's a reason why. You look up and down his career where he's played. So many players have their best seasons of their career shooting the ball, scoring when they play with Steve Nash. Meanwhile, Raymond Felton has some blood that they couldn't get in the 32nd time, so he has to go sit down. That brings Ronnie Brewer in the game, and Kidd will move to point guard. Gasol lobs it to Howard, and there is the third assist already from Pau Gasol.
Getting him the ball in the elbow area brings him into the game and what may be his greatest skill, which is passing ability.
Anthony just fires on the three. He's having a career year so far from downtown. Bryant's jump shot nails the two-pointer. And the Lakers now with a 7-0 run. Gasol in the last game, the overtime victory against Golden State, he had 6 assists. Gasol and his brother Mark, two of the best passing big men in the game.
And down the stretch of that Golden State game, they threw the ball to the elbow to Pau Gasol, and he made terrific plays.
Kurt Thomas fakes, Kurt Thomas shoots, and once again, Kurt Thomas hits. He's 3 for 3.
And believe me, after the game, he'll be talking about his TCU days where he led the country in scoring. Kurt, we know it, we've heard it, we just don't believe it anymore.
Howard inside, and he gets fouled. Well, the standard line was, and they said Kurt Thomas led the country in scoring. Is what country was that? But he has made his living as a defensive player, but always could hit that jump shot. And you see 4 of the 6 oldest players in the league on the Knicks. Now you add Steve Nash, and we've got 5 of the old guys in the league in this game.
But going back to Kurt Thomas, he really was he played in that up and down system of Billy Tubbs where they got up and down. But he established his role early in the NBA from his rookie season on, where he was able to guard the low post and guard pick and rolls. And that's why he's able to play into his 40s. He's in great shape. He's got high basketball IQ, and he knows exactly who he is.
This is his 18th year in the league. He averaged double figures 5 different times in his career. As Howard misses the first free throw. Howard's been shooting much better from the free throw line in the last 5 games, around 70%. Otherwise, he's been around 50 for the season.
Think about it. 18 points a game, Howard, 12 rebounds. And somehow we're left disappointed that he's not doing more coming off back surgery.
Well, if their record wasn't 13 and 14, people were probably not paying much attention. But as you know, Jeff, winning makes all the difference in the perception. Chandler. That's where Chandler gets so many of his points. A nice putback from one of the more underrated players in the NBA.
And that's where, even though it wasn't an assisted field goal for Chandler, it's still a very difficult play by Howard. He has to come and help. He misses the block shot, and it's an easy follow-up for Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler knocked it away from Nash, who thought he was hit. Chandler, the reigning defensive player of the year, against the guy that won it the 3 previous years, Dwight Howard. Kidd for 3, puts it in. He's a kid from downtown, where this season he's shooting 43%. That's the Knicks been their most lethal weapon offensively, on a record pace of 3-pointers made and attempted. Howard on the drive. Thomas trying to stay with him. Thomas quick outlet. Felton back in the game, all patched up. Jody Meeks has come on for the Lakers. And Metta World Peace with the foul as Anthony goes down. Anthony slow to get up. He's missed 2 games with a lacerated finger, 2 games with a badly sprained ankle, but he bounces up.
Great pass by Kurt Thomas to the wide open Jason Kidd for the corner 3-pointer. And then a 4-5 screen and roll. Pau Gasol with the nice lob to Dwight Howard, who finishes with great authority.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for game-changing traction inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Knicks and Lakers at the Staples Center. Knicks at 20-7, off to their best start in 23 years. Why has it been so good? Well, Carmelo Anthony playing at just an unbelievable level, including from three-point range. And the three-pointer, the #1 weapon for this team. They shoot it and they make it. But another big part, turnovers. Less than 11 per game. Last year they were 29th in the league. A big turnaround for the Knicks. And that's been a point of emphasis for Mike Woodson, who really has done a tremendous job getting them to buy in, finding the right pieces, when to play who. He's done a tremendous job.
He sure has, and I think putting Carmelo Anthony at the 4, and let's give credit to General Manager Glenn Grunwald as well, surrounding him with solid veterans that help him play to his strengths and cover up for his non-strengths.
Ronnie Brewer can't connect. Chandler, who's been doing that all season, bats it out, but Anthony can't connect on the 3. That also for the Knicks, 2 of their key players, 2 projected starters, Amari Stoudemire and Iman Shumpert, both have not played a game. They've missed Rasheed Wallace for a bunch. Marcus Camby's missed 12. Kidd and Carmelo Anthony have missed a bunch of games. And as the ball's knocked out of bounds, it's still Laker ball with 6 to shoot. Now everybody has to overcome injuries, and they have done that.
They have, and it'll be interesting to see when Stoudemire comes back after this road trip, how they integrate him into the lineup. Will he go back into the starting lineup? They're going to try to play 6, the Lakers are right now. Okay.
Well, you're allowed on Christmas Day, you're allowed to play 6 in the first and third quarters. That's the new rule instituted by the league. Bryant gets it, fires the jumper, and banks it in.
But what I say, Mike, about Stoudemire, it'll be interesting to see how they integrate him. Will he be a part-time starter, an all-the-time starter, or all the time off the bench? Interesting, difficult decision by Mike Woodson coming up.
And so much emphasis as Smith pulls back. J.R. Smith knocks down his first. He's been on a real fine stretch in the last 6 or 7 games. But with Stoudemire, certainly his offense has been talked about, as Nash's pass deflected, but it's on the defensive end that's going to be an adaptation too. Brewer drives in against Gasol, blocked, swatted. Gasol and Jordan Hill right there to greet him. Bryant goes backdoor on Anthony. Oh, beautiful reverse from Kobe Bryant. And the Lakers have tied the game. Smith for 3, knocks it down. Despite the three-point barrage that you'll see, the Knicks don't play at a high pace, Jeff.
No, slower pace, but just high efficiency because of their lack of turnovers.
Anthony comes in and grabs the rebound. Knicks on the road this year, 8-5. Smith will try again. Meanwhile, the Lakers, with their struggles early, just 8-6 here at home. But all the numbers for the Lakers really go out the window now that Nash is back. Gasol will try again. Way short. Nash, World Peace. Felton pushing. Anthony will try another 3. Anthony's three-pointer has been short. Nash to Jordan Hill. Hill, nice adjustment. Can't finish, though, as Anthony's there. Just under 2.5 remaining. Pace has picked up nicely here in the first. In the first meeting between the two at the Garden, again, there was no Nash, and the Knicks hammered the Lakers as Brewer can't connect. Chandler's follow. He rushed it. And Brewer called for a foul. And we'll take a timeout.
Well, the great passing by Steve Nash has rubbed off onto everyone here. Good backdoor pass by Metta World Peace to the cutting Kobe Bryant. I got his name right. I don't even know what his name is. Good play, Bryant.
This NBA Christmas special on ABC is presented by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. BBVA Compass, home of banking built for you. Learn more at bbvacompass.com. And Zero Dark 30 in theaters.
State Farm. Gift that keeps on giving. Later on, 8 Eastern, James Harden and the Rockets, Joakim Noah and the Bulls on ESPN. And then we'll be back here at the Staples Center tonight. A fun matchup between the Clippers and the Nuggets. Clippers have won 13 in a row. The celebs will be coming out for the Clipper games pretty soon. Of course, the Lakers always have them. George Lopez, Richard Lewis. Lawrence Fishburne, one of the underrated actors. That, of course, is just my opinion. And speaking of great actors, Samuel L. Jackson as well, here on Christmas Day in downtown LA. Chris Duhon has come on for Nash. It's pretty amazing. Nash played 41 minutes in his first game back. Bryant goes backdoor. Smith trying to chase him. Tough fall-away shot. The Lakers get back defensively.
And that's been their biggest weakness defensively. People talk about pick and roll defense. Yeah, it has given them problems, but it's been their poor transition defense in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock that has really given them problems.
Jordan Hill has it. Anthony had Duhon on him, wanted to take advantage. He's been short on most of his early shots. Now he's guarding Gasol. Help defense there from Chandler. And the ball tipped in nicely by Bryant. Bryant playing the small forward to start tonight. 10 points here in the first period. We almost take for granted his ability to score. I mean, he's 34 years old. As Felton goes backdoor, high off the glass, misses the layup. And Bryant is leading the league in scoring at that age.
It's just unheard of.
He's 5th in minutes as well. Hill tied up, poked away by Felton. Bryant. And he's taken 9 shots here in his first quarter. He had 41 shot attempts in the Golden State game.
And only 1 free throw attempt. And you've got to get to the line to be highly efficient.
Metta World Peace leaning on Carmelo Anthony. Drives inside, trying to draw the foul. Chandler tips it out, but right to Bryant. Anthony missed his last 5 shots from the field. Not a 2-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Bryant gets inside. Count it and 1. Felton and Metta World Peace exchanging some words. Seems to be friendly, however. Meanwhile, Kobe Bryant with a chance for a 3-point play.
And when Kobe Bryant's isolating, you can't miss this help if you're Carmelo Anthony and just put your hand in there, put your whole body, and make him kick it out to Chris Duhon and 2 bigs on the weak side. Good strength by Bryant, body control, and this is what you need to do if you're going to take 40-some shots or 30-some shots. You've got to work your way to the free throw line.
Hearing the MVP chants. "13 first quarter points for Kobe Bryant." J.R. Smith down the lane, running layup, shot won't go. Chandler's tip misses. Anthony won't fall as well. And that ends the first period. Good start to this one here at the Staples Center. Kobe Bryant starting at the small forward. 6 of 10 from the field, 13 points. Carmelo Anthony hit his first 2 shots, then was off the mark. Here on Christmas Day, a sold-out Staples Center. After 1, it's the Lakers 25 and the Knicks 23.
Coach, you decided to start a bigger lineup tonight. How would you assess the effectiveness of that bigger lineup?
I thought it was great. Kurt Thomas gave us a good minutes, you know, being in there as a starting 4 against their big lineup. But you know, as the game wears on, I mean, we're going to have to go both ways. It's depending on what they do, we're going to have to match up.
You've been the first to admit that defense has slipped over the last handful of games. What specifically, where does it need to improve today?
Well, we still, I mean, the interior defense for us, we got to keep them on the perimeter making jump shots. You know, Howard and Gasol are low down low. So that's going to be the key, is keeping them out of the paint, forcing jump shots, contested jump shots, and see if we can get it out and run a little bit.
Coach, thank you.
The Knicks 25-23. Time for Team Insight, brought to you by BBVA. Heather Cox with Mike Woodson.
Coach, you decided to start a bigger lineup tonight. How would you assess the effectiveness of that bigger lineup?
I thought it was great. Kurt Thomas gave us a good minutes, you know, being in there as a starting 4 against their big lineup. But as the game wears on, I mean, we're going to have to go both ways. It's depending on what they do, we're going to have to match up.
You've been the first to admit that defense has slipped over the last handful of games. What specifically, where does it need to improve today?
Well, we still, I mean, the interior defense for us, we got to keep them on the perimeter making jump shots. You know, Howard and Gasol are low down low. So that's going to be the key, is keeping them out of the paint, forcing jump shots, contested jump shot, and see if we can get it out and run a little bit.
Coach, thank you. Mike?
All right, Heather. Another key is Steve Novak knocking down threes right off the bench. Hits his first shot.
That's incredible after timeout execution right there.
Brewer to Pablo Prigioni, the 35-year-old rookie from Argentina. Marcus Camby, his first game after missing the last 14. He hasn't played since the 26th of November because of plantar fasciitis in his foot. And Mike Woodson couldn't wait to get him back to help spell Tyson Chandler.
He plays every holiday, Thanksgiving, now Christmas. He'll be off to New Year's and then Valentine's Day.
Gasol fights his way in to try and get that one going. Can't get it to fall.
But see, he has to be able to punish Ronnie Brewer down in the post. The Lakers are playing big. The Knicks are playing small. He's got to get off a better quality attempt in the post versus Brewer.
Prigioni has been a real nice pickup for this team as the third-string point guard. Brewer fakes, drives, try to get it down low to Camby. Brewer dives on the floor. And is he going to call a timeout? Yes. So they'll no doubt use their 22nd timeout here. They'll have 1.9 to shoot. So we'll take a quick break. Mike Woodson will diagram a play.
Well, you've got the mismatch. Brewer playing straight behind Gasol. He catches it on the block, and when he spins, he's got to protect it, and he can't get it bumped off his spot and give a poor shot attempt like that.
Second game on ABC. Rematch of last year's NBA Finals. Thunder and the Heat from Miami. That's coming up next. Here at the Staples Center. Right now it's a 1-point Knick lead. A little over a minute gone by here in the second. Knicks will inbound with 1.9 to shoot. J.R. Smith's going to have to hoist it up and knocks down the three. That's a difficult turnaround. And able to hit it from a couple of feet behind the three-point mark. Yeah, the Knicks up by 4. Foul on Prigioni. Knicks 4 of 10 now from three-point range.
Well, the strength it takes and the balance to catch, pivot, that's just incredible athleticism.
And Meek's right on him. J.R. Smith is a real favorite of Mike Woodson as Howard drives in and finishes.
And to me, Howard should never be able to beat you off the dribble because you should cushion him enough where you encourage him to shoot the jump shot. To allow him to drive by you doesn't play to his strength.
Prigioni finds Camby. Camby puts his head down, flips it up, and draws the foul on Howard. Smart play from Camby as soon as he felt the contact. And Camby, who's going to be 39 in a couple of months, will go to the line. You coached Camby, one of the terrific defensive players in his era. And back with his second tour with the Knicks.
And underrated when it comes to basketball IQ. Not just a good defensive player, Mike, from blocking shots, but in all facets, schemes, pick and roll coverages, very good passer, and he improved his jump shot. It's a long windup into the shot, but he improved it. He's had a remarkable career because as a second pick in the draft, there was a couple disappointing years to start off, and then he gathered himself and got it right.
Led the NBA in block shots 4 times, Defensive Player of the Year back in 07. He's 12th all time in shot blocking. Morris left open, can't connect. Novak battling, and a loose ball foul is going to go against Novak. That'll be his first as we listen up to Mike Woodson mic'd up.
Go. Push the pace. You defend, you rebound, and you push the pace. Let's go to work. The pace is right where we want it. Great quarter.
Carmelo Anthony back in. Metta World Peace is going to come in to shadow him as Brewer sits down.
But the challenge will be for Jordan Hill. Who is he going to guard? Is he going to guard Anthony? Is he going to guard J.R. Smith? Either one requires a different skill set.
Meeks, a good three-point shooter, not that time, and Camby the rebound. Camby couldn't wait to get back to action. Again, missed the last 14. Rasheed Wallace is out. He's got a acute stress reaction in his foot. Camby offensive-minded early, misses, gets it back, and puts it back up and in. He's wondering where the foul was on the initial drive as the Knicks go up by 5.
And I thought that was good defense by Dwight Howard and a good no call.
Meeks misses that one. J.R. Smith the rebound. Smith jump shot. Metta World Peace has had a good stretch in the last 7 or 8 games, starting to play his best ball of the year. Howard double team. Anthony on him with Camby, throws it through the hands, right to Meeks, and Meeks can't connect. Howard had it, lost it, got it back again, and is hammered. And he'll go back to the free throw line. Marcus Camby will pick up his first, and we'll have a break. Just over 3 minutes gone by. Second quarter, Christmas Day in Los Angeles. Lakers down by 5, early second quarter. As the Knicks continue their fine play, and again they've done it without Amari Stoudemire playing a single game. Stoudemire due back soon. With more on that, let's go to Heather.
Stoudemire back here in front of the Knicks locker room where he's been working out. You've actually also been working out with the Knicks D-League affiliate, but when will we see you back on the court in a Knicks uniform?
Well, hopefully soon. I've been training extremely well the past month or so, and these last few weeks have been great for me, so hopefully I'll be back out there soon.
Coach Whitson said he's shooting for January 1st, your first game back at home against Portland. Do you think that's realistic?
That will be awesome. You know, if we keep making progress and I can continue to improve, then that would be a target game.
Now, on Saturday morning, you and Coach Whitson talked. What did you guys discuss regarding what your role will be when you come back?
Well, Coach knows and my teammates know that I'm a total team player. And whatever best fit this team and for us to continue to win, I'm totally down for it. So I want to keep up the great work.
This isn't news to you. There's always talk about what the chemistry is like when you and Carmelo Anthony are on the court at the same time. What are you trying to do to make sure that that dynamic is a positive one when you return?
Well, I think we all are basketball players. We all are pros and smart basketball players at that. So all we have to do is just make sure we understand what it takes to win and go out there and do it.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you back on the court. Best of luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Mike?
All right, Heather. Well, since he came to New York, and when he first came, he was the man. He was the guy that was scoring 30 a night. He really has done whatever it's needed to be. When Carmelo Anthony first came, Jeff, he sacrificed. I don't think he has any problems or would have any problems coming off the bench. As Smith, they're going to wave it off, the foul on Meeks. You know, it hasn't been the easiest transition between the two when they played together. The numbers don't support it, though when Mike Woodson took over, they played well together. But he's been a team-first guy.
I've been impressed with how he's handled the questions of whether he should start or not. When you've made that much money, you've started, you've been an all-star player, and you've been as productive as Stoudemire has been. To even consider coming off the bench shows about his teamness, but I think it is the right move when he comes back, is to bring him off the bench and keep Anthony at the 4 position. Those numbers also don't tell who you're playing with a lot of times. You're telling me that if Stoudemire was playing with Anthony, with Kidd, and with some of these other guys that they've added, that they wouldn't be successful? I don't agree with that.
Metta World Peace knocks down the 3. And again, as you said, Carmelo Anthony has excelled at the 4. Stoudemire can play some 4, play a lot of backup 5 as well.
I don't understand. They could get that nice little 3-man rotation and play together at times.
World Peace with the steal. Duhan back for Howard. Howard does a trot and they call it travel. It's the right call. I'm just surprised it was called. It was clearly a travel, but you don't see this called often.
Well, good defense leads to offense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I think they got that one right.
Derek Stafford, man of the year for making that call. Often that's just let go. There's no doubt that he took the extra step and negates the dunk. Howard having a conversation with somebody on the Knicks bench. I think it was Darrell Walker. 3-point game. Still early here in the second. Anthony trying to draw the foul. way off.
See, and I think what Carmelo Anthony has to do against World Peace is not get into a catch and face game as World Peace scores in transition. He's got to get it on the move, Mike, and attack before World Peace gets his feet set.
And let his strength become a big part of it. Although he's been moving a lot better this year certainly than last year. Anthony falls down again.
Because the ball, he's going by him, and then the ball's getting deflected.
Smith to Camby. Camby to the basket. And a foul. And Camby's hurt. And so is Carmelo Anthony. They bumped into each other. Anthony hobbling. Camby slow to get up. It was the Laker game back at the Garden a couple of weeks ago that Anthony sprained his ankle, banged his knee.
Well, I think when Camby went down, he went right into the knee of Anthony.
Yep. His head hit that left knee. Oh, you see it come back like that.
Like hyperextended almost. I hear that term a lot, so I just threw it out there, having no knowledge of what just happened.
Thank you, Dr. Van Gundy. Camby hits a free throw. And the Knicks fans holding their breath when they see Anthony get up limping like that. The first injury at the Garden looked like it was going to be really serious. He went down hard and his knee got caught funny. So two Knicks shaken up on the play. And a technical foul call, I believe, on Mike D'Antoni. He's been getting on Benny Adams. And it's Mike and Steve Clifford on his right and his brother Dan D'Antoni on his left. See Chuck Person, Eddie Jordan. And Anthony will shoot the technical free throw. Knicks go back up by 3. Mike D'Antoni's been in a good mood the past few days now that Nash is back. It wasn't an easy start, but he preached patience. Said when Nash gets back, we'll figure everything out. We'll see what works, what doesn't work. A delay of game warning now called against the Lakers. So Camby, his first game in a month, very active. And this is the free throw. He's got 4 points, 3 rebounds. Felton back in guarding Nash. Nash poked away from behind by Felton. Nice defensive play. Smith to the basket and lays it in. J.R. Smith showing his athleticism.
And again, that's early in the shot clock. That's the time that you can really attack the Lakers. That's their weakest point of their defense.
Metta World Peace gets hammered. And he'll go to the line. The Knicks bench has outscored the Laker bench 17-5, 10 from Smith.
Well, again, early in transition, Smith, nice crossover attack in the feet of Meeks. And without Dwight Howard back and set, a missed help by Nash. No other shot blocking at the rim because of the small lineup on the floor for the Lakers.
Go to NBAtickets.com for all your NBA ticketing needs. Single game tickets, partial plans, season tickets, group sales, and to buy and sell tickets from fans. All tickets on one site. Go to NBAtickets.com. Lakers, again, had a 4-game losing streak preceding this 4-game winning streak. Everything's been so up and down. Been high anxiety all season. So with Nash back, the natives have relaxed a little bit. Kidd, Felton, Smith, Anthony, and Chandler. Anthony gets inside, and he hooked. Offensive foul. He's done that a bunch recently. He's also seen, Jeff, in the last couple of weeks, teams are really playing him physical.
Well, again, against the strength of World Peace, it's very difficult to back him under. I think Anthony would be better to be catching it on the move.
Now Anthony upset. He got called for foul, denying the ball against Metta World Peace. Those two really going at it. And we're going to have a timeout call by the Lakers. Good physical play here on Christmas Day.
Well, Artest is trying to be physical offensively, too. The last time he posted up and backed him in. And then there, I think that might have been an offensive foul. Anthony got on the wrong end of that call.
Just past the midway point, second quarter at Staples Center in Los Angeles. Knicks leading the Lakers 38-35. As Carmelo Anthony got off to a quick start, but then that turn.
Against the smaller Darius Morris, got off to a real good start, 2 for 2. And then when World Peace came into the game, I don't believe this is the way you attack World Peace. You do not try to make it a strength game. You try to make it a catch-and-go game. And here Anthony took a very difficult foul from his perspective. But when you're going up against the strength of World Peace, come off screens, catch and go. Don't let him get his feet set so he can use his strength against you, because he doesn't have the foot speed to stay with Carmelo Anthony.
World Peace, who grew up in New York, Queensbridge, New York, played college ball at St. John's. It was always talk he was going to come back and play for his hometown team. The Knicks certainly never worked out. This helped the Lakers win a championship back in 2010. He's another former Defensive Player of the Year in his prime. Before all the stuff that happened at the Palace, he was maybe top 5 in the league for that year or two in terms of two-way players. He could dominate a game defensively, and he could get you 20 to 25.
Well, you see his strength. It's not just defense. It was in the low post. He was a matchup nightmare for small forwards trying to stay out of foul trouble. He had that bull in a China shot type of mentality, just to catch it and bully you to the basket.
J.R. Smith fakes, looking for an opening. Felton, shot clock winding down. Felton to Chandler, knocked away. Chandler just gets it off, but he had to rush it because the shot clock was expiring.
Great sequence by Dwight Howard defensively there, helping on multiple drives to the rim and ultimately deflecting the pass from Felton to Chandler.
Smith went for the steal, and Kobe Bryant looks at him as if to say, "What are you doing?" Ball deflected by Raymond Felton. I was going to ask you about Howard, the premier defensive player in the game, as Carmelo Anthony knocks that down.
And that's what I'm talking about. Don't catch and let him get his feet set. Catch and make your decision quickly. That time he just raised up and knocked in the short jump shot.
Bryant posting up, gets inside, count it. With Kobe Bryant, he's got 15. I was going to ask you about Dwight Howard. He's such a great defensive player. Has his defensive impact, that hasn't really been there yet for this team, correct? As Felton can't connect.
It hasn't, but again, they have a lot of holes defensively when it comes to transition, as Meeks gets an early basket in transition off a nice advance pass by Nash. And I think he's still working his way back from back surgery to be able to give those multiple efforts needed to be the premier defender in the game.
Kidd the drive, Kidd out to Carmelo Anthony, and Anthony can't connect that. And a loose ball foul is going to be called on Nash. I'm glad you brought up the back surgery thing, because Dwight Howard, let's face it, his departure from Orlando was not handled well. It was a PR nightmare for him, and he deserved a lot of criticism for it. But I think he's getting harsh treatment in terms of the way people are viewing him now on the court. I mean, he had major back surgery, and he's not 100% yet.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is when you see Bryant, the dichotomy between those two is Felton hit the nice runner. You see one ultra serious professional athlete and another guy who, rightfully or wrongfully, likes to joke and clown. I think people don't give those type of guys the benefit of the doubt.
Kidd with the rebound.
But you're right. He's played pretty well, and he is coming off this major surgery.
J.R. Smith again. Smith, 5 of 8 from the field. He has 12 points to lead the Knicks. Smith playing the best all-around ball of his career. World Peace nails it. A three-pointer for World Peace. 11 points, 3 rebounds, couple of steals. The Lakers within 1.
And again, throwing the ball to Pau Gasol at the elbow, where he's activating the offense.
Felton, alley-oop to Chandler. Chandler has to come back down with it. A little difficult, more difficult doing the alley-oop with Dwight Howard on the floor. And J.R. Smith continues his hot hand. Nash wide open. And a loose ball foul again against the Knicks. If it's on Carmelo Anthony, that's going to be his third, as we'll have a timeout. So 3 fouls on Carmelo Anthony as the Knicks lead by 3.
J.R. Smith 6 for 9 from the floor. Tough little fade against Bryant. The nice touch. The Knicks playing well, up 3.
This NBA Christmas special on ABC is presented by State Farm. Brought to you by Mountain Dew. This is how we do. City Price Rewind. Buy now, save later. And Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained, starring Jamie Foxx and Leonardo DiCaprio. Now playing.
I'm waking up. I know you are. I know you are. Good job, boy. Come on, what attack? You know we got a rebound over
Those two spend a lot of time together this summer over in London with the Olympic team. As you see Carmelo Anthony's numbers so far in what has been one of his best all-around seasons. The other one that people talk about, Jeff, one of his best overall seasons was that 08-09 year when Denver went to the conference finals. That was also after he played in the Olympics with some of the premier players in the world. And they teased him that summer. Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, he was off his first championship in Miami. Teased Carmelo Anthony and how he couldn't get out of the first round. And then he had his best year. Chauncey Billups' existence in Denver had a lot to do with that. And now this year, he's got better players around him. He also seems more focused. And
well, listen, a lot of it comes down to who you play with. It's not just you by yourself. You can't say, as a critic, it's a team game, and then put on one person all the blame for the results. But as a player, you have to be willing to take as much blame as you are taking credit. So the percentage should be the same. And you got to look inward. And I think the way they're using Anthony at the 4 is great. I think the people they've surrounded him with, as Chandler's called for an offensive foul, I think the people they're surrounding him with are the right type of people. And I think it'll be interesting to see, Mike, if the three-point shooting stays at a really high level or if it regresses back to their career averages.
There are only 8 teams in the history of the NBA since the three-pointer came into effect back in 79-80 have shot 40% for the season. Howard misses, Chandler the rebound. Right now the Knicks are just under 40% from three-point range. That's a tough mark for a team to make over an 82-game schedule. If you can come close to it, it's a great number. Felton, crossover move on Nash, falling away, shot won't go.
That's excellent defense by Nash, and I think in these first 2 games, his work defensively, even though he's gotten scored on some by Jarrett Jack, I think he's played very good defense.
Gasol will try another 3. And another loose ball foul. This one's going to go against Jason Kidd. Knicks in the penalty. Now coming up, the Sprint halftime report. The guys in the studio, Magic Johnson, Jalen Rose, Bill Simmons, Michael Wilbon of highlights of the first half of this one. A preview Thunder and the Heat. On a very busy Christmas day with some terrific matchups. They're in that studio right there in that window there. Terrific second quarter for Metta World Peace, or as you like to call him, World Metta Peace.
Listen,
or Ron Artest.
I've called him everything that he's been known as, and some things he hasn't been known as.
Now, he was a rapper once for a while. He had a rapper name. Do you know that one?
Here's my thing. No. Should you make more fun of me that I can't get his name right, or more fun of the name that he's using now?
I feel more fun of you. I always
disagree.
feel much more comfortable that way.
You're safer that way, yes.
Tied at 46, minute and a half to go here with the second. Felton inside. Nice play from Felton. Felton's shooting numbers are down, but Mike Woodson loves him. He's a pit bull. He just fights and fights.
That was a beautiful left-handed finish.
Novak on Gasol. World Peace steps out and knocks down another. How about the second quarter? He's got 16 second quarter points.
And again, their best offense today has been throw the ball to Pau Gasol and let Steve Nash go and screen for people. That's led to high-quality shots.
Felton deflected out, and it's still Nick Ball with 7 to shoot.
This little elbow action was very effective down the stretch in Golden State. Here, Nash, good screen on Jason Kidd. Good read by World Peace, and another three-point shot. And look where Gasol delivered that pass. Right in World Peace's shooting pocket.
Well, they have 13 assists in the first half. You knew that number was going to go up when Nash joined the team. Novak finds Felton. Wide open three. In and out. Chandler tips it back out. He has made that an art form. Rebounds he can't get a hold of. And there's World Peace all over Smith. Good aggressive defense. Smith tied up. World Peace faking a little bit on that one. And finally a foul's called. Crowd upset. With his strength, there's no way he should go back on that.
That's $5,000 to the kitty of the NBA for the flop. But good intensity by World Peace.
Well, Smith's a pretty strong guy too.
But that's very good intensity. That sets a tone and a tenor that's going to be recognized here in LA.
And he gets a nice ovation as he picks up his third foul. That's the kind of defense we've seen him play throughout his career. As Smith misses. And a great second quarter, including 3 for 4 from downtown. 30 seconds remain here in the first half. Smith 14 points in 16 minutes off the bench. Anthony with 3 fouls, sitting out the rest of the half. Nash will bring it up. Nash with 7 assists. Nash throws up a jumper and nails it. He doesn't shoot a lot, but he knows when to pick his spots. Shot clock turned off. Smith, razzle dazzle. Gasol the rebound, and that will end the first half. A good one where the bench played a major role for both teams. World Peace off the bench. He led the Lakers with 16. J.R. Smith off the bench led the Knicks with 15. As we've got a 2-point game. Metta World Peace. A dominant second quarter and did it at both ends of the floor. As the Lakers shot 47%. Meanwhile, Kobe Bryant had 15 points himself. He's with Heather.
Thanks so much, Kobe. Merry Christmas. It's been a fun first half. It seems like a lot of jibbing, a lot of kind of jawing back and forth with you and Melo and you and Kidd. How emotional is it out there?
Well, I mean, it's fun. It's competitive, and you know, exactly as it should be.
Steve Nash has 7 assists already. How is your game affected by his return to the court?
Well, it makes it very easy for me. I just have to run the lane, look for opportunities to score the ball, and you know, it's the game's very simple.
Kobe, we'll let you get to the locker room. Thank you, Mike.
He seems to make the game easy for everybody. And Bryant certainly admit that. Thank you, Heather. Sprint halftime report coming up with Bill, Jalen, Magic, and Michael. We'll look at the first half of this one. Preview the second game on ABC, Thunder and the Heat. A fun game here at the Staples Center. A sellout crowd. As bench players providing big sparks for their team. Halftime here in LA. Lakers lead the Knicks by 2. Yippee-ki-yay. Welcome back to our NBA Christmas special presented by State Farm. Staples Center in Los Angeles. Lakers lead the Knicks at halftime 51-49. Hello again, everyone. Merry Christmas with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. We'll check in with Heather Cox in just a moment. Did you get everything you wanted for Christmas?
You never do, Mike. There's always one more thing you wish you would have nabbed.
We're looking forward to your ascot in the second game later on.
It's coming.
That you promised to wear.
That's right.
In the second game. Meanwhile, in this game here today with Steve Nash and the Lakers, you could just see the difference that he makes. And not just in passing the ball. He makes a difference in so many ways.
Well, you talk about his passing. Everybody knows about his passing, but it's his screening oftentimes with this Laker group where he makes it work. He throws the ball to Gasol in the elbow, and then here, sets a little rub screen to allow Howard to set the pick on the ball for Gasol. And Gasol, again, a great passer, throws it to the rim for the Howard dunk. Here, again to the elbow, sets a little flex screen for Kobe Bryant, gets Kidd out of place, they miss a switch, dunk for Bryant, and then finally gets World Peace a three-point shot by the little brush screen here. Good read by World Peace, and he just knocks it down. So Nash is effective in many ways, but as a screener today, he's been really impactful.
Bryant big in the first quarter. World Peace in the second quarter. Meanwhile, for the Knicks, they started off well, and a big key for them has been their bench all season. J.R. Smith was terrific.
Oh, he was great. You know, he kept him in it, 6 for 9, and he did it with a bunch of tough shots here at the end of the shot clock after a 20-second timeout, the long three, and then the crossover early in transition to attack Meeks, and then the little step-back fade against Bryant where he got the nice roll. Tremendous 15 points off the bench for J.R. Smith.
And that's where Mike Woodson likes him, coming off the bench. Smith was hoping maybe he would start this year with Iman Shumpert out with the injury, but Woodson said no. At first, Smith was upset, but he has embraced that role in a big way.
And I like this move by Mike D'Antoni as Carmelo Anthony comes off the staggered screen to get a two-pointer, to not start Darius Morris on him, but to start World Peace right away so Anthony doesn't get a rhythm.
Nash to Gasol. Morris started the first half. World Peace came off the bench. Howard against Kurt Thomas. Thomas started the game as well. Nash, nice little ball fake in the layup. Nash 4 of 6 from the field, 8 points, 7 assists, and a couple of rebounds, and some of those nice, as you call them, rub screens. Felton floats it up there. Felton now at 8.
And every small guard needs that shot. And more guards have really done a good job developing their foot. Felton hits the little floater.
Nash's floater won't go. There's a head coach at Golden State who was fairly effective on that shot. Jason Kidd wide open. Nails a three-pointer, his second of the game. And a quick start for the Knicks here in the third.
And nice job by the Knicks. That's the most lethal three-point shot there is. The transition three. Good find by Carmelo Anthony.
World Peace was out in the first half. That one in and out halfway down. Anthony grimacing a bit as he dribbles up the right side. On the pull-up jumper, Carmelo Anthony 2 for 2 to start here in the third period, much like he started in the first half and then went a bit cold with all the physical defense. 7-0 run. Good defense from Chandler. Chandler and Howard going at it. Nash to Gasol. Jason Kidd, another rebound. One of the great rebounding guards ever. Carmelo Anthony from downtown, and the Lakers need timeout. 10 straight points by the Knicks, and Anthony 3 for 3. As New York now with the largest lead by either team here this afternoon.
And this is the greatest weakness of the Lakers. Transition defense. Kidd on the push like he's done thousands of times. Nice little screen by Chandler. Gets Carmelo Anthony the wide open three-point jumper.
Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for game-changing traction inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Just over 2 minutes gone by. Third quarter at Staples Center. Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks leading by 8 as we check in with Heather Cox.
Mike, I had a chance to catch up with Mike Woodson coming out of the locker room. He said he liked the pace to start the game, then they got stagnant. He wanted more pace, and he got it with a 12-2 run to start the third quarter. As far as Carmelo Anthony goes, I asked about that knee. He said it's bruised. He didn't receive any treatment at halftime. He also said that Anthony, who played mostly at the 3 position in the first half. They'd like to use him exclusively at that 4 position, that power forward in the second half, guarding Pau Gasol as long as he can stay out of foul trouble.
All right, Heather, and he has started off red hot here in the third. Now, Jeff, he's got still Metta World Peace guarding him, whether he plays the 3 or the 4. Is it just the spacing on the floor and where he operates from different when he plays the 4?
Well, he's playing at the 3 right now with Kurt Thomas and Chandler. So to start this half, I think it's going to be the same. But as the half winds on, you know, you have to just make sure, as Howard gets the 3-point play opportunity, you've got to try to keep him out of that foul trouble, because he's by far your most efficient offensive player, and he's the one that opens up the 3-point shots for his teammates.
Howard got hit. Chandler picks up his second. Nice pass once again. 6 assists for Pau Gasol. He had 6 assists in the last game.
And it started with a nice pass by Bryant coming off the pick and roll to hit Gasol, and then Gasol the touch pass to Howard.
Howard 3 for 5 from the line. If you're his coach, what to you is an acceptable, like what goal percentage-wise from the free throw line would you be thrilled with?
Well, you know, 60% would be, you know, for him would be terrific. But I think the main thing is just don't miss so many that it alters our game plan or costs us games down the stretch. You know, I watched him play in Orlando a lot, and even though he didn't shoot him well, it didn't seem like it cost them games. You know, other than in the finals, I thought it cost him one game down the stretch. I think it was game 4. But for the most part, I just thought it was bad. You know, it was a bad free throw shooter, but it was okay.
Ball knocked off Nash's foot. His best year was his rookie year.
But I think the main thing, Mike, is to keep him involved offensively so that he stays engaged and active defensively and rebounding wise. You don't want it to, a nice little lob play by the Knicks.
And Chandler fouled. He was waiting for the call. Mike D'Antoni doesn't agree with it. Chandler's going to go to the line. Really, says Mike D'Antoni. Meanwhile, Chandler was one of D'Antoni's, and still is, one of his favorite players he ever coached. He was raving about him before. Mike Woodson will tell you the same thing. The guy last year, Defensive Player of the Year, and he wins a gold medal with USA. He would love to be an all-star player. He's one of those guys, much like Nash, great in the locker room, a unifier. His teammates love him, will do anything to win. Just such a pro, Jeff.
And he's done it every place he's ever been.
Whether it was New Orleans when him and Chris Paul were on that terrific team. Certainly won a championship in Dallas. He's changed the defensive culture in New York. But misses a couple of free throws there. World Peace gets inside, can't finish, ball batted out. Felton does a good job tipping it away, but he's hurt. Felton hurt his hand. Anthony catches, shoots, hits a 3. Carmelo Anthony red hot. But Mike Woodson disturbed right now by Raymond Felton in a lot of pain. He's been banging both hands. He's injured during the course of the season. The left one for a while, he wore a big bandage on it, a bruised left hand. This one seems to be the right one. And as Roger Hines, their head athletic trainer, immediately comes out to him. And it was on the deflection. He made a good hustle play to deflect it to Jason Kidd. And that's where he heard it right there. And then Carmelo Anthony knocks down another. Anthony all of a sudden has 20 points. Jason Kidd with his 5th assist. We'll take a break. Knicks lead by our NBA Christmas holiday extravaganza presented by State Farm. Our national television big board Wednesday on NBA TV. Knicks continue their West Coast trip. They'll be in Phoenix against the Suns, and then on TNT Thursday, Thunder host the Mavericks. Celtics are out west. They'll play the Clippers in LA. Here at the Staples Center, Snoop Dogg, a big Laker fan, wearing his Laker towel, and the great Frank Robinson, Triple Crown winner. Didn't he do it for 2 teams? No, he won MVP for 2 teams. Were Baltimore and Cincinnati? You're the baseball guy here.
I'm not.
What do you mean you're not?
I used to be. I'm just not up as much as I should be on baseball anymore.
I'm very disappointed.
As am I in myself.
Bryant has it. They leave him, and Bryant comes up short. J.R. Smith the rebound. Jason Kidd's had a good, strong all-around game. Smith. Bryant all over him. Anthony from way downtown. And Nash the rebound. Rebounding numbers, Knicks actually +3. That's been a problem area for them at times this season, as much as it can be when you're 20-7. Howard and Kurt Thomas banging bodies. Thomas stayed with him, and then bumped him. As we check in with Heather again.
Mike, an update on Raymond Felton. He does have a right sprained pinky. He spent the majority of that time out talking to his coach as well as his head athletic trainer, Roger Hines. He is good to return. I was told it could have been cut off and he'd still play. He is one of the tough ones, Mike.
No question about it, although sprained pinky is not the injury you want being associated with.
No, and you can't, like, go out with the sprained pinky.
No, it's just...
You got to make up something broken, fractured.
Right, come up with some medical term in the pinky that makes it sound better than a sprained pinky.
Yeah, you can't. That's just not acceptable.
And there you see Iman Shumpert to the right of Felton. Shumpert last year as a rookie became one of the better perimeter defenders in the league down the stretch. He's maybe mid-January, that's the hope. He tore up his knee in the playoffs last year, and you notice the green ribbon, that Shumpert was wearing, and that's in tribute to those in Newtown, Connecticut, in the Sandy Hook Elementary School, for those whose lives were lost, for those who are suffering with those lost lives, and also for those people, the responders, and the unbelievable support that community has given each other throughout just such an unimaginable time. And you see the referees wearing them as well, the players, and many people here at the Staples Center. Smith had the hot first half. Wild shot there, and he gets the foul on Bryant, who is absolutely shocked. And Smith will go to the line. That's the first foul on Bryant.
Well, Bryant forcing Smith into the help. Seems to graze his leg.
Yeah, it wasn't the hand. It's when Smith came down on the leg, and that's the stuff that, you know, the officials have talked about calling more often. When a player lands, you've got to enable him to land in the normal floor position. I think they could call this particular foul more if this is the case. Let's see if
I like this call. I think you have to protect the jump shooters. There should be no contact with jump shooters outside the paint. You should be able to go up and down and land. You know, you see a lot of people at times sticking their feet up under jump shooters to making their landing, you know, problematic. Those should all be fouls.
Right, even after the shot is released, the shot attempt is not over till you come back down to the floor. Now, the second free throw is good, but the Knicks have hurt themselves at the line, just 6 of 12. They lead by 7, though. Nash, Chandler out on World Peace.
They've got to be able to search Howard out on those rolls to the rim where he's got deep paint opportunity.
Good defense there by the Knicks. Kurt Thomas right in the middle of it. Meeks harassing Kidd. Anthony guarded by World Peace. Little give and go. Ball deflected out to J.R. Smith. Smith off balance. Knocks it down. 18 points for J.R. Smith. And the lead, the largest so far this afternoon. Count it, and a foul. A short-lived largest lead.
Well, J.R. Smith is a good, bad shot maker. Look, this is off balance, but he rises up over Nash and sticks it in. And they will run, Mike, the lanes. Even a team that's not fast like the Lakers, Bryant, World Peace, they'll run because they know Steve Nash will advance the ball to him. So he throws it ahead to him, gets him a simple little layup and a three-point play opportunity.
Chandler his third foul. World Peace, he looks in so much better shape than last year. He's running the floor better. We're midway through the third. Felton back in. Small lineups except for the two centers. Felton left open on the elbow. World Peace with the rebound. I mean, just look. He looks as he lost the ball out of bounds that time, but there's just a nice bounce to his step that really didn't see last year.
It's very hard with the compacted training camp, people being out of shape to play good basketball.
Felton gets to the rim, but can't finish. Last touch by the Lakers. And Felton and his sprained pinky back on the floor.
Miraculously.
But Heather was right. He really is. He plays through a lot of injuries and banged up stuff as Carmelo Anthony knocks down another. Anthony red hot here in this third quarter. He's got 12 points in the period. Knicks up 9.
Did you see how he caught and went right away as World Peace was closing out? He didn't let him set his feet against him and use his strength. Good adjustment by Carmelo Anthony coming out of halftime.
Well, you've been calling for him to do that all game because early he trying to match the strength.
See, it's just catch and go and attack his feet right into his little pull-up. And there's no one better than Carmelo Anthony as a scorer.
And Nash to the free throw line for the first time. Well, the gift that keeps on giving, our NBA Christmas special presented by State Farm, continues tonight. ESPN, 2 games, Rockets and Bulls from Chicago. And then we'll be back here at the Staples Center for the red-hot Clippers and the Nuggets. 13 in a row for the Clippers. And they're fun to watch.
Who would have thought the Rockets would lead the NBA in scoring? James Harden playing outstanding offensive basketball, and the Bulls, the most overachieving teams out of a lot of overachieving teams. How about them leading their division without Derrick Rose, plus a lot of their bench players from last year?
Loose ball foul call on Meeks. You know, Tom Thibodeau, as Meeks picks up his third, he was an assistant coach in the NBA for 21 years. And you never know, and he was assistant under that man in a couple of different places, you never know when a guy goes from assistant to a head coach. Can you make that step?
Right, and these are the teams I've loved, Mike. I love what the Golden State Warriors have done. Without Bogut, I love Curry and Lee and the bench that Bob Myers, their general manager, put together with Carl Landry and Jared Jack. And I think how Oklahoma City has reacted to the trade of Harden. Kevin Martin, probably 6th man of the year.
Smith brings it back out. You're very proud of your friends, Mark Jackson and Tom Thibodeau. Smith, again, 20 points for J.R. Smith.
And Kevin Durant, I would call him my friend too, so I'm proud of him too because he's a pretty good player.
Didn't you guys get in a scrap a couple of years ago, a verbal scrap?
No, I don't believe so.
No? Bryant for 3.
It was a one-way scrap if it was. I've learned not to scrap.
6-point game. Felton blocked by Howard. And as Felton goes crashing to the floor, Dwight Howard, one of the premier shot blockers.
Yeah, they're trying to eliminate the 3 by dropping Howard back. So Howard's giving ground, but still has the responsibility to protect the rim. And he blocks the shot. And that's a tough thing to ask a guy to protect against the lob and to protect the rim. Good play by Howard.
Anthony way off. Smith trying to knock it away, but he bumped into Kidd. And it's Laker ball with 4:10 remaining here in the third.
And right now, the Laker perimeter players have to come back and try to rebound. They're leaking out as Kidd and J.R. Smith are crashing the board. And they're giving up too many second shots.
Bryant's got 20. He's 8 of 13 from the field. On the pull-up, short. Kidd off to the races. Kidd trying to get it to Chandler, deflected out of bounds. Still Nick ball. As Gasol's going to come back in. You know, we talk about, you mentioned this at the top. You think this is one of the key areas for the Knicks. They have 4 turnovers in the game.
I mean, it's a joke. They're so efficient. They didn't have 1 turnover in the first quarter. When you're playing with this differential from a turnover standpoint each and every game, and then you compound that with the number of threes they make, very difficult to beat, even with the weakness, like you mentioned earlier, of rebounding.
Smith gets it back. Anthony lost it. J.R. Smith looking for an opening, has it poked away. Well, there's a turnover as Bryant comes into the front court. Bryant drives on Felton. Good defense from Felton, better offense from Bryant. Back to a 4-point game. Bryant is guarding Felton. Nash is guarding Novak. Anthony from way downtown. Carmelo Anthony, 15 third-quarter points. We saw World Peace have 16 points in the second. Well, the guy's getting hot here this afternoon. Jody Meeks for three. Long rebound way out to Nash. Inside to Gasol. Nash gets it back and puts it back up and in.
I wonder how many possessions in Nash's career he's had 2 offensive rebounds in one possession.
12 points, 8 assists. I still say, when we talk about this, you could start to make a claim that he's up there as one of, if not the best shooter in NBA history. When you look at his field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage.
And
Chandler on the follow.
see, this is where their perimeter players are just hanging on the perimeter. As Gasol goes to block, you need somebody to put a body on Chandler, be it Nash or be it one of the other perimeter players as Bryant knocks in another tough runner.
The unguardable shot. Kobe Bryant now with 9 points here in the period. Chandler had it thrown a little bit behind him, tied up. Look at the strength of World Peace. And the two get a little extra pushing and shoving. Officials wisely get in between. And it'll be a held ball.
I love the competitive spirit, Mike. That's exactly what you need to shake your team out of doldrums like this. They have been in a season-long struggle. You need players who are willing to get in the paint, do the dirty work, and fight for a win. The Lakers aren't talented enough to be a pretty team.
There's some blood on Metta World Peace, so they're going to have to attend to that.
I don't even know why we have to attend to it. We should celebrate blood. When guys give out effort like that, let them play bloody.
Well, here's the interesting...
Do we do that in football where every time a guy's bloodied, we rush to him like, oh, he's going to break down because there's a little bit of blood? Get in the paint, get on the floor, get in the fight. That's what I love to see.
Now here, I got a question for you. Now, if he's supposed to jump it up against Chandler. If they can't stop the bleeding in the 30 seconds, I'm not sure the rule. Is he allowed to come back in the game?
No, they would have to take a timeout, I would think.
Yeah, they probably would because they want to keep him and he's playing so well.
But what kind of rule is that?
The rule is the rule.
But why?
I don't know.
You have a direct link to the NBA office. Could you find out why this preoccupation with a little bit of blood? Guy gets a little nick on his elbow. We rush over there like the guy is going to die.
Well, right. But the original is the infectious control rule from back when after Magic Johnson.
Right, and there's been a lot of myths dispelled since then.
You're absolutely right there.
So let's get on the ball, NBA,
and change the rule.
Change it. And I like this, putting Steve Novak. I've never seen this in a jump ball. Putting a guy at the three-point line. That's knowing your role, Steve Novak.
Now he's going in the corner to shoot his three. Chandler has the height advantage. Ball tipped, and then Smith comes up with it. Shot clock is at 7, though. Anthony drives on Gasol to the basket, finishes nicely. 17 third-quarter points, now 27 for the game.
And you should see when he's at the 4, no one can come to help. He blows by. There's so much space because of the three-point shooting.
Nash in rhythm. Tell you what, for a guy that missed 24 games, he's played 41 minutes in the last game, 29 here today. Felton flips it up. Chandler tried to throw it in. Chandler thought he got fouled. Lakers, as World Peace struggles with the ball a bit. Gasol down low, lays it in. The lead is 3. Pau Gasol, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Final minute, third quarter. Novak for 3. In and out. Knicks from downtown, 8 for 20, 40%, an excellent number. Bryant will try a 3. Battle for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds, and it's Nick Ball as Chandler and Gasol went at it. Chris Duhan's going to come in. Chandler, he got so many family and friends here this afternoon. He had to buy a suite, which has at least, I think he said, 24 tickets. He lives in the Valley, and he says the first time he's had Christmas at home in 12 years, so a lot of the family coming to see him play.
Must be nice to be able to afford a suite.
Yeah, maybe they give him a discount.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. Ryan on J.R. Smith. Smith makes his move, spins, nice play inside to Chandler, and Chandler has it knocked out of bounds. World Peace is just so active defensively. Deflections, tying guys up, putting a body on them.
Well, Smith drives it, spins away from Bryant. Bryant chases it down from behind, deflects it, and then our World Peace, like you were saying, being active.
Smith catches, can't hit, Novak the rebound, and the Knicks can hold it for the final shot. And Felton stepped out of bounds. Chandler arguing with Benny Adams. He wants James Williams to come in and say, no, wait a minute. The Knicks.
And I don't think they liked where Mike D'Antoni was standing.
I think that's probably what it was. Now, if the ball hit the ref's part of the play, part of the court. Bryant to the basket, count it, and a foul. With 2.6 and a technical foul call against the Knicks. Kobe Bryant can tie the game at the free throw line as the Knicks kept arguing that out-of-bounds play instead of getting back and getting ready for defense.
Well, Bryant with a strong right-hand drive. No help on the penetration. Three-point play opportunity.
Didn't see where the technical was from.
It was on Chandler, I believe, yelling at James Williams about the previous play.
Well, Chandler gets called for his third technical. I think that suite's going crazy right now. That's the technical. Let's see what the play was.
Yeah, I think Mike being on the court, did the ball go out?
I don't know. Didn't appear. It looked like Felton saved it. Bryant misses another free throw. Chandler has it. Smith will throw it down court, get a shot attempt. He's not one of those guys that don't want to hurt his percentage. He just throws it at the basket. Let's take a look at that play again. Right on the line.
Well, I think Benny Adams was shielded from seeing it because of where Mike D'Antoni was standing.
I don't think the ball went out of bounds. It was hard to see. It was on the other side of D'Antoni's foot. Adams had a good view, but Knicks may have had a point there. Carmelo Anthony threw in 17 in the third quarter, but the Knicks lead is just 1.
This NBA Christmas special on ABC is presented by State Farm. Brought to you by Die Hard, Yippee-Ki-Yay, February 14th, only in theaters. And the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Having some technical difficulties as we're set to start the fourth quarter at the Staples Center. Knicks leading by 1, 78-77. A good battle, and the two leading scorers in the NBA going at it. Kobe Bryant has 26. Carmelo Anthony has 27. There was one Christmas back in 1977. The two top scorers in the league played each other on Christmas Day. Pistol Pete Maravich and George Gervin. That must have been fun to watch.
Especially with the defense played in the 70s. Would have been like a layup drill.
Chris Duhon, Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, Jordan Hill, and Metta World Peace. Chandler with the rebound. Knicks have Jason Kidd, J.R. Smith, Steve Novak, Tyson Chandler, and Carmelo Anthony, who had 17 third-quarter points. Kidd launches a three, way off. Duhon has done a solid job since Mike D'Antoni took over. He had his best year as a pro in New York playing for D'Antoni when he was with the Knicks. Gasol short, and Jordan Hill is going to be called for a loose ball foul. Carmelo Anthony wired for us this afternoon. Let's take a listen.
We going that way, right? Let's keep moving it. We got tempo and keep moving it. We get stops. We get stops, we go. Don't float it like that. Don't shoot it? No, don't float it like that. You coming this way floating. Attack that. Be aggressive on that.
Everybody around the team that's been around him say he's never been more vocal than this year. Kidd trying to off the dribble. Gets it inside to Chandler. Chandler with the finish. Pretty setup from Jason Kidd.
And if you're Jordan Hill, you have to resist the temptation there to help on Jason Kidd's penetration. He's not looking to drive to score. He's looking to drive to pass there. Excellent find to Tyson Chandler.
World Peace. Novak the rebound.
And I don't like the first couple shots. Bryant's long three as Jordan. What?
Wow, Jordan Hill.
That's not a foul?
It was after the ball went through the hands, but there was a lot of contact there. Chandler's wondering why that's not a foul.
In the NFL, that would have been a $30,000 fine for a defenseless receiver.
Yeah, I don't think Jordan Hill did it intentionally, but that's a dangerous play.
This isn't after. He's going up to catch. He's pushing him. What do you want him to do?
Wow, no, they missed that one. Chandler wondering why. J.R. Smith.
You know, I like how competitive defensively J.R. Smith has grown into.
Bryant with one Knick in front of him, one behind him. And the Knick lead cut to one again. There's been no double-figure leads in this game. It's been close throughout. Smith on the pull-up. Ball batted and taken by Duhon. Duhon pushing. Throws it right to Smith. I think the ball slipped out of his hands. Kidd to Anthony. Gasol on Novak. Kidd looking.
Great play by Howard, not reacting to the Kidd penetration.
He wanted to lob it to Chandler off. Anthony to the basket. Oh, beautiful adjustment from Carmelo Anthony.
When we had a wired on him, he was wired from birth to score. This guy's a natural born scorer. I mean, the array of shots he's got.
Howard gets it. And Howard is fouled. Anthony's shaken up a bit. He's limping. Remember, he banged knees in the first. And he's grimacing and limping a little bit as Chandler picks up his fourth.
That's called playing possum. Look at this finish right here. Up and around the length of Pau Gasol. And by the way, is there a better camera angle in sports than coming through the backboard? I love that one.
Watching the eyes, too. Shot clock down to 3. Bryant, one dribble, head fake. Smith hammers him to make sure the shot doesn't go up. Bryant takes a little exception to it, but walks away.
And it could have been a flagrant foul.
Bryant will shoot free throws. Smith picks up his third.
Well, this is where Bryant's great. The shot fake after he picks up the dribble. And I am contradicting myself. That's not a flagrant foul. I've gotten as soft as a marshmallow. Are you kidding me?
Maybe it's just the holidays. I am a little surprised, though. Knicks lead by 3.
To me, holidays is all about giving back.
rather than receiving. And when you see some of the joy on some of the kids' face, that's the most warm feeling that you can get during the holiday season.
We always hand out gifts, and it's always fun.
Everybody gets a great feeling because they're doing something good and making somebody smile.
Some people just are just fortunate to be able to experience that every year, so to be able to give that to them is big.
On behalf of all the players in the NBA, have a happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas to everyone with 8:50 remaining here in the fourth. Knicks leading the Lakers by 3. Kobe Bryant will go to the line for 2. Largest lead for the Knicks, 9. That was in the third quarter. Lakers' largest lead, only 4. It's been a good close game throughout. Bryant has 28. Carmelo Anthony has 29.
The Lakers the other night were down 14 in the fourth to the Warriors, and they showed much greater will to stay in the game.
Meanwhile, that was just a big moment. I know this is important to you. He now has become the all-time leading scorer on Christmas Day.
The insanity of stats is just so pervasive now. Why don't we say that on every date then? The leading scorer on November 1st in NBA history. Why is it Christmas Day? He's gotten 15 times at it.
Right, but you know what? His stat, the one stat he doesn't like on Christmas Day, his team is 5-9 on Christmas Day. He cares more about that.
Some of these stats.
Shot clock down to 6. Kidd, nice defensive play from Howard. World Peace down the lane. Misses the layup, gets it back again and banks it in. Novak took a shot. And he's down. Anthony did an excellent job initially defending the play, but the Knicks couldn't grab it, and World Peace stayed with it. And Steve Novak is hurt. Roger Hines has been very busy today. Good defensive play from Anthony. Oh, right in the face. We'll take a quick break. The NBA National Television Big Board coming up on Wednesday on NBA TV. Knicks and Suns from Phoenix. Then on TNT on Thursday, doubleheader. Dallas playing at Oklahoma City. And the Celtics out on the West Coast facing the Clippers. National Television Big Board. Well, they showed the replay of that last play, and even the Laker fans, a big ooh, as you watch this shot from Novak. Watch the elbow. That right elbow came in and leveled Novak. Slow to get up. He's okay now, though. Oh, wow. I remember when we used to make fun of you when Mark Jackson was working with us about how you called him the best shooter in the game. Then he finally gets a chance in big regular minutes last year. And what does he do? He leads the league in three-point shooting. And we apologize.
Yeah, who's laughing now, Mark Jackson?
Foul away from the ball. I believe it's going to go against Bryant. That's his second. Lakers' second team foul. That's going to look like it's going to swell up a little bit. Felton trying to find an opening. Pass deflected. Can't able to get it. Shot clock at 5. Back to J.R. Smith. Smith falling away. And Howard grabs his 10th rebound.
Mike, I was trying to make this point earlier before Novak went down. They just are playing with a greater sense of passion, the Lakers are. Even when they were down in Golden State, as Bryant knocks it in again. When they were down, they had fight in Golden State. They have fight tonight when they got down early in the third quarter. It's good to see that response.
Kobe Bryant now with 32 as the Lakers take a 3-point lead on this 6-0 run.
Well, this is a nice little action that the Knicks run as well. A little high post split into a screen by Howard that frees up Bryant for the easy pull-up. Lakers up 3.
Time for the State Farm Better State Assist.
Well, Kobe Bryant doesn't have an assist today, so we're going to say he assists his team in scoring and making these difficult shots. Into the third, driving it, taking the bump, and then attacking the double team, going around Novak into the tough pull-up. Very efficient, 13 for 21.
9th consecutive game that Bryant has hit the 30-point mark. That's the most anybody at his age has ever done. You got a chance to get 40. He's already hit that 3 times this year. He's first in the league in scoring at age 34. He's 5th in the league in minutes. He's shooting a career-high field goal percentage, over 47%. And there's his Olympic teammate, Tyson Chandler.
When you mesh talent with drive, you get one of the all-time greats. And that's what we've been able to see for all these years.
Felton, floater from way out. Chandler tried to tip it. Felton just 4 of 16.
That's another great play by Dwight Howard. Making Felton taking a longer runner than he had hoped to, and then still getting back in rebounding position.
Nash lobs it into Bryant. Bryant inside, lays it in. This is the largest lead of the afternoon for the Lakers. 8 straight points. World Peace is greeting Carmelo Anthony as he crosses half court. Just putting a body on him. Anthony, one dribble, fires, connects. 31 for Carmelo Anthony. Anthony in the first half was 4 for 11. He's 9 for 11 in the second half. There's the double on Bryant. Nash swings it. Meek stripped by Jason Kidd. Kidd nearly throws it away. He did not want to shoot the 3. Surprisingly, he was wide open. And then Anthony throws it away. And the Knicks have had 3 turnovers here in this third quarter. Fourth quarter, excuse me. 9 for the game. They had 6 at the end of 3 quarters. Again, they averaged 10.8, which is would be a record if they finish that way.
It's going to be very interesting to see, with the Lakers playing big and the Knicks playing small, if the Lakers can guard the penetration and the 3-point line.
Kidd battling. Kobe Bryant. Difficult shot. Short. Rebound Howard. Back out Nash. Felton now switches up on Bryant. Bryant calling for it again. Kidd looking to help. Kidd with another steal. Throws it down to J.R. Smith. One man in pursuit, and Smith lays it in. How about Jason Kidd? With a couple of steals here in the last minute. And the Knicks back within 1. He's 6th in the NBA in steals. Howard. Easy 2 as Nash set him up beautifully. 10 assists for Nash.
And Gasol rolling along the baseline opened up that roll lane for Howard. Nice find by Nash.
Felton wraps it around to Chandler. He had Nash on him and turned around. J.R. Smith looking. Jump shot from Smith. Gasol the rebound.
Another great defensive sequence by Howard.
Knicks trying to take the ball out of Kobe Bryant's hands. Pau Gasol. He's in double figures. Lead back up to 5. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists for Gasol. Felton floats it up to Chandler, deflected by Howard once again. Good hustle though from Felton to get it back. And then World Peace called for a reach-in foul. That's his 4th and the team's 3rd.
Well, nice find by Bryant out of the double team to Gasol, but really this second half, Mike, has been as much about Dwight Howard's defensive dominance and basket protection as it's been about anything offensively. He has been absolutely terrific.
He's taken away one of the Knicks' key weapons, that alley-oop. Felton high off the glass. That's a difficult shot from Felton. He's 5 of 17 from the field. That pulls the Knicks within 3. Mike Woodson yelling out to Raymond Felton to get up on Nash. Felton trying to fight over the screen, pick and roll, and Chandler has to wrap up Howard. Howard from the free throw line this afternoon, 3 for 5. He's higher than his season percentage. 5 fouls on Chandler.
And that was another nice find by Nash with his left hand. Kid is in a quandary on the weak side. Should I help on the roll or do I stay at home on Kobe Bryant? You have to do both to win in this league. You've got to protect the basket and get to the three-point line.
Nash, nice free throw there. Howard has struggled from the line in the fourth quarter, more so than others. And you see the percentage. You know, you talk about kids' decisions with Nash out there. He just makes it so much more difficult. He's like a great quarterback who reads what the defense gives him and then makes adjustments on the fly. Those are some ugly free throw numbers. Pau Gasol tips it out. Howard gets inside, misses the layup. Gasol tips it, and a loose ball foul will go against the Lakers. They're not in the penalty yet. I think it's Gasol will pick it up, and that's his second. 3:38 remaining, 4-point game. World Peace right on him. He can't go anywhere without him breathing all over him. World Peace is playing like the old Ron Artest. And a foul on World Peace, who can't believe the call. And that's now the 15th foul, so Anthony will go to the line. And for World Peace, that's his 5th. I don't, and there was a call earlier that I thought went wrong against the Knicks, and that, I don't know how they call those plays. To me, that's as hard as the block charge without the restricted area.
Yeah, is that a double foul? Who's initiating the contact?
Right.
Is it illegal?
When do you call it too? Like, does the guy, until the guy gets an edge, or it's just a really hard call?
Well, now is not the time to start cleaning up contact. If you're going to clean something up, that tone should have been set much earlier. And I think for the most part, it's been called very well. I think you're right, though. World Peace has taken the brunt of a couple questionable calls.
Carmelo Anthony, 33. Kobe Bryant, 34. Lakers by 2. Nash against Felton, trying to find an opening. Kicks it out. World Peace. Smith on him. Drives, lost the ball. Chandler can't hold on. And it's Laker ball with 5 to shoot, and Mike D'Antoni wants a timeout. Well, first game on ABC, a good one here at the Staples Center. We still have the Thunder and the Heat coming up from Miami next. 3 minutes remaining, a 2-point game in LA.
This NBA Christmas special on ABC is presented by State Farm for auto, home, life, and banking. Get to a better state. Mountain Dew. This is how we do. And Kia Optima.
Great matchup coming up in the next game. LeBron James and the Miami Heat hosting Oklahoma City in a rematch of last year's NBA Finals coming up next on ABC. On a nice day here in Los Angeles outside the Staples Center. What else to do? Watch some NBA basketball, do a little ice skating. Well, that tree is perfectly formed.
Yeah, I don't know if it's real, but I know Dwight Howard's real when he defends like this. Here, dropping back on the pick and roll to try to be able to defend the roll and get back and block out. Excellent sequence there. And then again, comes and blocks Felton's lob to Tyson Chandler. He has been dominant defensively. His numbers, not up to his normal numbers, but it's his impact that's been great defensively.
Lakers have just 5 to shoot. Bryant double team, Kidd all over him. Bryant's going to have to fall away, puts it up. And out of bounds. Excellent help defense. Jason Kidd has really been defensively superb here in the fourth.
They ran that same out of bounds play out of a timeout earlier in the game, and Bryant got a wide open jumper. This time, Felton came off of Nash, who was the inbounder, to double team on the catch and force them into the shot clock violation.
Felton goes at Nash. Nash does a good job keeping him in front of him. Felton's going to try again. It's inside. Flips it up. Way off the mark. Felton gets it back. Baker, he missed that as well. And Bryant the rebound. Raymond Felton battling and battling, but just can't get the result.
And same with Nash, sinking into the legs of Tyson Chandler to prevent the second shot.
Nice pass to Howard. Strip knock. Oh, they're going to call a foul. That's on Chandler. It's not. That would have been his 6th. Oh, it is on Chandler. Chandler is fouled out. It didn't appear that's what James Williams signaled. Ooh, I don't know.
Beautiful pass by Nash. Good catch by Howard.
So Chandler fouls out for the first time this season, with his team down by 2, and Howard back to the free throw line.
That's a tough call right there.
So Chandler waiting for Marcus Camby to come out. Camby, who had not played in a month, had missed the last 14 games. Returned to action in the first half, played just under 6 minutes. But they need his size.
Right, that's a difficult decision. Is it Kurt Thomas or is it Marcus Camby? Which guy to go with? Obviously, Mike Woodson has opted to go for the length of Marcus Camby versus the strength of Kurt Thomas.
Thomas played well. Howard, perfect free throw. Dwight Howard now 5 of 8. Again, this is a 6th straight game where he has done a solid job at the free throw line.
You have to remember his misses rebound long. They gave up a free throw rebound on the last possession.
Perfect 2 for 2 for Dwight Howard. You get the feeling when he hits free throws down the end of the game, for the fans, it's just so much more sweet when it comes from him at the line. Such a sigh of relief. World Peace on Anthony. Bad pass. And a foul call. No, a punch. And the ball was punch on the deflection. Derek Stafford's going to talk, so they'll take it out of bounds. It's just a violation.
Well, Howard shooting a 16-footer instead of a 15-footer from the free throw line.
Well, he said it was because most of his missed free throws were too long. Anthony with 5 to shoot. 1 dribble, pulls up. And a foul call. World Peace is upset. He better be careful. He's fouled out of the game. He is red hot. And Anthony will shoot 2 free throws with 1:58 remaining. It looked like Anthony's. Let's take a look. Rather me speculate. See, now there it looks like he pulled his hand, almost like he made contact with the ball, Jeff, and then pulled his hand back.
I couldn't really tell from that angle. But now the question is, Kobe Bryant has Carmelo Anthony.
So 2 key defensive players have fouled out. World Peace for the Lakers, Chandler for the Knicks. Anthony with 33. He's 4 for 4 from the line this afternoon. He's raised his season percentage to 83 and misses another one. Knicks have really struggled at the line. 8 for 15. Yeah, that a big miss down the stretch. Three-point game, just under 2 to play.
And they've got to take away the roll to Howard on these high pick and rolls. They've got to be in the lane.
Nash looking, gets in the paint, off 1 foot, knocks it down. Steve Nash, instead of the pass, can so easily beat you with the shot.
Well, people don't refer to him as an athlete. That was such an athletic move to be able to stay that balanced on a little step back in the lane.
Camby trying to come out. Camby open, lobs it into Anthony, misses the layup. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Bryant. Marcus Camby with a beautiful pass but Anthony couldn't convert. Now they're going to check to see if the shot clock should have been reset or just to see who at last touched. You can look at it. Obviously, the shot clock should have been reset. They're going to change that.
That sure looks that way.
That's last touch by Anthony. And that's the new rule from a couple of years ago. Last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter and overtime. Any out of bounds play that the officials are uncertain of, they can look at. On the court, it was called Nick Ball. They'll look at that and give the ball for the Lakers. The crowd's already made their decision, Jeff.
Shockingly so. But that, you're absolutely right. That's clearly going to be overturned.
Anthony missed the layup. Again, Camby fed him beautifully. And Anthony just couldn't convert. And one of the things again about Steve Nash, having Nash now on your team down a stretch of games, the guy is second best all time in free throw percentage. You love having the ball in his hand.
Well, it's interesting. With Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest scorers in the history of the game, their go-to plays the last two games with Nash coming down the stretch of games has been Nash in the high pick and roll. It's been Gasol at the elbows. And having Bryant play off of those two guys.
Well, the officials haven't made the call yet. They finished looking at the replay. Derek Stafford, the crew chief. James Williams on the left. Benny Adams on the right.
I'm a little surprised it's taken them time to talk this out.
After review. Now they, wow. I don't understand that. Kobe Bryant doesn't either. You know, it's the same thing unless you feel conclusive evidence, but that was off Carmelo Anthony.
Are you kidding me?
So the Knicks with a huge call right here. Let's take a look again. Unless they're saying that it was Kobe Bryant's hand that knocked out of Anthony's hand and that forced it to go out.
You're reaching, Mike.
Trying to cover all angles here. Camby. Oh, Dwight Howard with the deflection. He was playing off Camby so smartly and forces the turnover. Nash, not that time. Camby the rebound. Coming up on a minute remaining. The Lakers holding on to a 5-point lead. J.R. Smith using a Camby screen. Hits the three-pointer. J.R. Smith, a clutch shot, and it's back to 2. 25 points for Smith. Nash working to Gasol, poked back to him. Anthony draped on Gasol, trying to cover him in the low post. Gasol backs in, leans in, and a foul, so he'll go to the free throw line. 4 fouls on Carmelo Anthony.
Well, good find late in the shot clock. The pick and roll was well defended. Pau Gasol using his size to back Anthony in, draw the contact, and get to the line.
Gasol 1 of 2 from the line. You see a good free throw shooter this season. Conley hits that one. Back to 3. Morris and Meeks play offense-defense substitutions for L.A. Gasol's had a nice game. 11 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And that could be a big miss. So Anthony missed the free throw at one end, Gasol at this end, and the lead remains 3. Timeout Knicks. They still have 1 timeout remaining. 3-point game. Knicks with the ball when we come back. Monday, January 7th, two of the most storied programs in college football match up as ESPN brings you the Discover BCS National Championship. Notre Dame looking for their first national title since '88. Alabama trying to claim their third title in 4 seasons. Coverage begins Monday, January 7th at 8 Eastern.
And here's the brilliance of Steve Nash. First play, they take away his jump shot with Chandler. He hits Howard on the roll. The next play, Canby plays the roll. So to create space, Nash gets into the body of Felton and then a little step back to create an angle for that shot. And here, Mike, the Knicks have to try to go 2 for 1. They're down 3. They need to get a quick attacking shot at the rim.
Yeah, Nash, by the way, it's only his second game back after missing 24. J.R. Smith has Morris on him. Smith for 3, in and out. I don't know if they love that shot. I mean, Smith has been red hot. And a timeout has been called by the Lakers, but that's a tough three-pointer to take.
But I think the timeout bailed the Knicks out of going to foul, and they didn't need to foul. And they obviously ran a misdirection three-point attempt for J.R. Smith coming up over the top. Well defended by Morris. Lips out.
Now it's the Laker ball. There's an 8-second difference between shot clock and game clock as we wind down. The NBA's third leading scorer this season. He's led it in the last 3. Kevin Durant and the Thunder playing against the Heat in Miami. They're back in the place where their season ended last year in the finals. That's coming up next on ABC. Well, the first leading scorer is Kobe Bryant. Number 2 in the league is Carmelo Anthony. They both have 34 tonight. And with 29.5 seconds remaining, Laker ball up by 3. Knicks simply need to stop. If you're the Lakers, you just keep going back to what you've been doing.
And it'll be interesting to see if Howard gets the ball. Do they foul? You can even argue that as he comes up to set the screen, maybe you bump him to draw the foul so it's not an away from the foul call and put him to the free throw line to try to extend the game.
Because if it turns out to be an away from the play foul, it's one shot and you get possession once again. But if it's in the course of a regular play, it's just a normal personal foul.
And anybody shoots.
Correct. Gasol will inbound. Anthony will play off the inbounds. Howard, Bryant, Nash meets his way in the backcourt, and they get it to Bryant. Lakers will hold it as much as they can. Gasol to Meeks. Meeks on the drive. Camby with the block. 6 to shoot. But just to show you the point you were saying before, and D'Antoni's going to call a timeout. How many times have we seen Kobe Bryant in that situation get the ball and give it up? Shows you the respect factor he has for Steve Nash.
Absolutely, and Nash, he swung it. I think what Kobe Bryant wanted was for Nash to repost the ball back to him as he did earlier in the half.
But you don't normally see him get balls in his hands. He wants the ball.
But see, now when they come to double here, see, instead of going away from Bryant, I think Bryant wanted to drop back, but good drive by Meeks and good block shot by Camby. It'll also be interesting if the Knicks are able to force a miss, Mike. Do they play on the run up the court to try to get the transition 3, or do they call timeout to advance it and then allow the Lakers to set their defense and maybe take a foul to prevent them from getting a 3-point shot?
If you're a coach, what comes into play to make that decision? Do timeouts, to foul trouble?
Timeouts, yes, absolutely timeouts. And do you have guys on the floor that you feel can play with the right level of intelligence? I would say they absolutely can make that decision on the run.
6 to shoot. Kid trying to deny Kobe Bryant. They double team, get it out to Gasol. Gasol drives down the lane and finishes. Pau Gasol powers it home. And the Knicks call timeout. A 5-point lead with 11.6 remaining. What a great move from Gasol. And a huge bucket for the Lakers.
And it all started with a poor switch. Lack of communication. Two guys go with Bryant, Kidd and Carmelo Anthony, which left Kidd late to recover to Pau Gasol. Bad angle. Gasol puts it down on the floor. Camby's late to help. And Pau Gasol finishes with great strength at the rim.
7-footer putting it on the floor with his weak hand there. A couple of dribbles. He also got hit. An impressive move from Gasol. It has not been an easy year for him. Shooting a career low 41%. But we saw his role in the victory against Golden State the other night. Another strong all-around game. All their numbers are going to come down because there's more guys, more sharing the ball. It's a matter of not worrying about it, just doing what's effective.
It's all about winning. Your numbers will be of no concern to anyone if you win big.
It's out. The Knicks down by 5. Obviously 2 possessions. They need to score in a hurry and hope for some missed free throws. Knicks also out of timeouts. They lob it cross court to Anthony, who's claiming he was held. And it's going to be Laker ball. Back on the original inbound.
And they're going to have Dwight Howard take the ball out, much like Tim Duncan has done through the latter portion of his career, so he's not on the floor to be able to be fouled.
Turnovers have hurt the Knicks. It's been a key for them all year. Meeks has it. And they foul Meeks with 8.2 remaining. Knicks had 5 turnovers here in the 4th quarter. They tried to lob it over and get Carmelo Anthony a 3-pointer. He claims he was held. And he was.
And he was. And they allow so much more late. And that's why I always laugh when people say the game's called the same from the 1st minute through the 48th minute. They obviously have never been involved in a tight, close NBA game.
Meeks misses.
And I didn't like Steve Nash's decision to give that ball up. You're one of the greatest free throw shooters in the whole world. You keep the ball in your hands. You get fouled, you put it in.
Knicks out of timeout, 6-point game. They need a couple of threes. J.R. Smith won't go. And the Lakers with a season-high 5-game winning streak. They defeat the Knicks 100-94. A fun duel between Kobe Bryant and Carmelo Anthony. Bryant with 34, same as Carmelo Anthony. And since Steve Nash returned, Lakers go 2-0. Nash with 11 more assists. World Peace was big. Pau Gasol a big play. As the Lakers now 500, 14-14. Knicks fall to 20-8. So the final score, Lakers 100, the Knicks 94. Oklahoma City and Miami are coming up next. For Jeff Van Gundy, Heather Cox, producer Tim Corrigan, director Jimmy Moore, and our terrific ESPN ABC crew, Mike Breen saying, thanks for watching ABC. Merry Christmas, everyone. More basketball to come.